Hey guys, my name is Rexy, and today, I've thought about it for a while, but I kind of wanted to make a video, maybe a few videos, sort of like ramble videos about my journey to maxing and my plans for the future. At least that's the first video I'm gonna make. And yeah, that's what the video is gonna be about. How I got my account to where it is now, and the footage in the background is just gonna be me runecrafting basically. Um, I'll try to put up some pictures when it seems relevant, or if I have any I can find from back in the day. I know I have a few, so. And I'm sorry about the structure and if I say a little bit too much, but I haven't really done much like this before. I'm trying to make it a bit free form. I put some bullet points, but I don't think it's gonna be perfect or close to it, so bear with me. But the reason I'm making this anyway is mainly for myself. I just kind of want a bit of a video journal, I guess you could call it, somewhere to collect my thoughts and see my progress and share it with you guys if you would be interested in listening to it. So yeah. So I guess a bit about my journey or my career in RuneScape. I think I started in probably 2007 or something, 2006 maybe. I was only I was very young, like 6, 7 years old back then, so I didn't really properly play, as I'm sure many of you didn't either. Like, I basically just, what I remember is just killing men in Alcaret and seeing the people in, where you teleport with the glory in the palace, who were fighting like the warriors. I thought they were like beasts and stuff, and I wanted to be like them, but I only ever killed the men. I guess I was too scared to try the warriors, but yeah, I guess the Alcarit, some of the music has a special place in my heart. I don't really use music in game ever, but when I do hear it, it's pretty nostalgic. I also played a bit in 2010 again or something, and I think I got like 99 magic or something, just alking basically. But I was completely clueless about the game back then, and I didn't do anything, so like quests were an impossible feat to do for me back then. There was no way. So I think the most I did was like Dragon Slayer 1 or something. Um, and that was not easy for me. But my journey in old school started in I think 2017 or something like that. The main thing I remember is that the blowpipe was OP back then, so maybe that gives some of you a clue as to when exactly it was. But I did abuse that to get my fire cape, so that was kind of my greatest accomplishment. I always had the goal of wanting to max from the beginning of me playing. So yeah, that was definitely my big focus from the start. Was just skilling and stuff. Um, it did seem kind of unrealistic, like the number 99, and knowing how it works with every 7 levels is like all of the levels before or whatever it is. 92 is half the way. In terms of XP, so that was definitely very intimidating, and it was more of a pipe dream back then, I guess you could say. And I was definitely a noob. Um, Not only in that I had to abuse the blowpipes to get a fire cape, but also um, I didn't really know how to make money, and quests were very scary for me because at least if I recall correctly back then, you would lose all your stuff if you died in a quest. And it took me so long to get, even though I mean now it's nothing, but back then it was everything. So as soon as there was like a dangerous quest where I wasn't 100% sure what I was gonna do, and if I was just gonna get killed by the boss, I was too afraid to do it. So I basically got my skills to like 70 and did a bunch of blast furnace to make money so I could fund like farming. And even back then, I guess that gives away a bit of what kind of player I am, but I was very efficiency or like opportunity cost driven in that I saw that the magic trees were, at least at the time, I thought worth it to do, even if it was more expensive. But I just couldn't keep up the cost of having to plant all the magic trees every day. So, but I really wanted to progress my farming, and that was kind of the only way I wanted to do it, I guess. So when I couldn't keep up the cost, I just kind of gave up, and that and the fact that I couldn't really do any of the quests or any PVM kind of make me quit. So, but then I was playing WoW for a few years, like World of Warcraft, and some of my guildies actually got me into to the game again, and they made me try raiding. And I believe it was, I mean, from looking at the screenshots I have in around February that I started playing. February or March, maybe. I think February though. Um, and it was pretty insane. Well, obviously, as I just told you, they got me into it, and basically what I did was I bought membership and I logged in, and I did Beneath Cursed Sands to be able to access TOA. And I can't remember exactly what raid it was, but it was like the fifth or sixth raid or something, and it was like 150s. So I mean, they were carrying me hard. I was really bad back then. Not saying that I'm great now or anything, but it was much worse. Like I struggled. I remember struggling with eating and stuff, and I definitely couldn't like eat and damage without losing ticks. And I didn't really understand the concept of true tile and ticks at all, or at least not very well back then. I mean, true tile was kind of decently easy to understand because you could just turn it on and see it. Not that complicated of a concept, but anyways, I got really lucky and we got a shadow. So it was me and my two guildies, and I got a split, and I'll throw it up on the screen because I do believe I have it saved, the picture. But as you should be able to see, I think it was like a 470 something mil split, something like that, which was just insane. It like propelled my account completely. Like I could buy, I mean, obvious stuff like bandos and some decent weapons, like BGS or whatever it was at the time I wanted to buy. But I was also very interested in spending it on skilling, and I think one of the first things I did was, I mean, I wanted to level up my construction, but I didn't quite, despite that split being very good, it wasn't enough for me to go like all out. I want to go all out on like mahogany planks and stuff and just do mahogany tables to 90, which was my goal, because I wanted to have the spirit tree and fairy ring in one. So like I basically fully maxed out POH. But instead I bought teak planks and I did mythical capes to 90. Which was kind of a cheap-ish way of doing construction. It was quite a bit slower than mahogany planks would have been. But yeah, so I got that and I got a bunch of like decent gear. And then, I mean, something even crazy happened like a month after that, I think. Um, we did another TOA, and I can't remember the invocation level, but I mean, you'll see it from the picture, I think. But it was either 150 or at most a 300, but I think it was another 150 maybe or something like that. I got another shadow, or like we got another shadow, and this time it was even in my name as well. So I have like that and the light bearer and my TOA collection luck, but yeah, that was crazy. Then I got yet another split, so I had at that point I basically had everything from my buyables, everything I needed. Um, and I can't remember what I did in every skilling method from like 1 to 70, and that's mainly because, again, like I said, I think it was like 2017 or something that I did those like up to 70 in most skills, some beyond that, like farming, for example. Um, and some of it, I guess, is kind of self-explanatory anyway, so there's no point in like the main point you have to choose. I guess you could say it's kind of what kind of player you are and how you train your skills. If you want to go more FK, or if you're gonna go more efficient, or if you're gonna go full efficiency tick manipulation, it's usually a choice later on. And I mean, I just wasn't aware back then, really, to the same extent I am now, at least, of what kind of options you had. I mean, I watched like theoretrics guides, I think it was back then. So yeah, one second, I'm just gonna take a sip of water. But anyway, another thing I do remember though, and I guess now I'll move on a bit from the past, and I'll go from 70 to the 99s. Is something very important to me in the skilling methods I chose was pet chance, because I really enjoy pets. I'll throw up some of them on the screen so you can see which ones I got, but um, I mean, I'll just check my collection log quickly as well. I know I have 9 right now. Um, well, as of recording this, I have 9, and I have Cerberus, the Cerberus pet, the Hell Puppy. I have Skodos. I have the Venenatis Spiderling, which I got from Spindle. And then I have Tangleroot, Rocky, Irby, Jumpy Chick, and the Abyssal Protector. I like the Guardians of the Rift pet. So yeah, 9 pets in total. And again, like I said, that was a big part of me choosing my what skilling methods to do. But yeah, as I came back to RuneScape and after I got all that GP, and my friends taught me a lot about the game, like easily enough to be able to do the in-game quests, which was like a big block for me before. I got very interested again in wanting to max. So, and I did this time. I did go quite hard. And I'm also kind of living a neat lifestyle at the moment, which I'll get to a bit later as well. But yeah, I went harder. So, for example, wood cutting, I did 2 tick teaks, which isn't 1.5, but it was like the first tick manipulation method I ever tried. And I remember being very proud of myself for being able to get it, because I thought maybe, I was too stupid, or I mean, all the people, especially on Reddit and stuff, describe tick manipulation as like insanely risk breaking, super complex stuff that wasn't for normal people at all, and you had to be like kind of a special breed to do it. Which I guess there's a chance that I am that, but I don't think so. I think the main thing is just that people never try it. I think a lot of those people that say that kind of thing is or are people who haven't really tried it. I mean, I know some people haven't, and it's definitely legitimate that they don't like it, but I think in a lot of people's case, it's simply a question of never even giving it a try. But anyway, I guess a lot of my motivation for efficient skilling, or my interest in it, I guess, uh, was sparked by me learning how to do 2 tick teaks, because that was kind of like, I guess, how people talk about when they do the Inferno, that they realize that they can do a bunch of other stuff, like once you've overcome that. I guess it's kind of a light version of that, in that, I mean, I managed to do something which made me believe that I was capable of doing other things as well, like other tick manipulation methods and similar stuff, just in general efficient skilling. Um, but yeah, basically just trained up the skills in whatever order. I tried to do the Bibles kind of early, I guess, also just because I had the money, but it was also just because I would feel bad if I bought gear knowing that I still had Bibles left. So I just kind of wanted to get the Bibles over with so that I could own my money again, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, I remember my first 99 was it was actually gonna be farming, which is, I guess, not too surprising if you heard what I was talking about earlier with farming, how much I cared about leveling it up back in the day. And it's definitely one of my favorite skills, and I'll talk a bit more about it later. But my first 99 didn't actually end up being farming. I remember I was a bit stressed at the time, and I had a lot of stuff I needed to do. And instead of doing the stuff I needed to do, I learned how to do one tick from once over the weekend, and I basically got from 70 cooking or whatever the recipe for disaster quest requirement was to 99 in like a day or two. I remember I was almost getting a million XP per hour, and that was also like a part of what again it made me even more interested in efficient scaling, because I was like, this is insane. I can get this kind of XP, and again I was also proud of being able to maintain that for multiple hours or like a day or so in a row or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, then after cooking, I mean, I don't think I got another 99 for a long time at that point. But yeah, basically, like I said, I just wanted to finish the Bibles as soon as possible. And then once I did that, and I basically only had, which is part of where I am now, I also wanted to finish the achievement diary. That was also something, because in general I am kind of I guess that is the way I play RuneScape now, and it's also something I'm gonna come to when I talk about my future plans. But I am kind of a completionist player. Um, in RuneScape, it's kind of hard because collection logging is kind of seen as completionism, but I guess Hey Jays is a good example of that. But in reality, I feel like obviously, I mean, going for 200 mils and like skilling is also completionism in my opinion. So both of those things matter to me. And PVM in general, I mean, doing all the content obviously you would need to do to complete the collection log and stuff like that, which is also, I mean, that's very much completionism. But anyway, um, I kind of decided when after I got the achievement diary requirements, one that I kind of got stuck on was the fishing one. I remember thinking needing to get to 91 fishing was such daunting task, just because it was gonna take a long time or whatever. Um, and I did do quite a bit of it actively through. I did two tick swordfish, but I think it was around I want to say 86 fishing maybe. I I switched over to doing Karam ones because I wanted to do something more chill, but like I wanted to do something different than two tick swordfish, basically. Not that I was necessarily bored of it or anything, but one other thing I really wanted to do for a while was make an alt. Um, and it's basically because at that time I was already contemplating pondering, I guess you could say, about what I should be doing in the future, and kind of all the options I had. Alts were, except for I guess playing Iron Man, although you can alt obviously with some stuff as an Iron Man as well, but Iron Man isn't really something I'm that interested in at the moment. But of all the stuff I was interested in, like 200 mils, PVM, and pets and collection logging, all of that, I mean, it doesn't require alts necessarily, but alts are very nice to have. So I wanted to get started on that, so I just did some passive or like chill Karam ones because it has good pet chance as well. And then I started my alt, which is I'll put that up on the screen now so you can see my progress with that. But basically during that time I just followed the optimal quest guide because I kind of wanted it to be like an overall alt. Um, I'm planning to make one more alt as well because if I ever want to go for 200 mil Slayer, it seems like having two alts to spec transfer is very good. Um, and it also seems to be like if you want to do rune dragons on them on the side while you're skilling, two seems to be kind of the limit of what's possible to do at once, but also I don't really want to go much beyond that because it seems um, at that point you're just one of those like multi-boxing memes, you know, where they're playing 30 accounts at once or something. I think two extra accounts is enough for me, at least for now. That's what makes sense. But anyway, I got started on this alt and I was following the optimal quest guide on the quest helper in game on Runelight. And yeah, I basically did. I ended up getting a bit burned out on it, especially because at some point I was doing elking and agility on my alt while fishing on my main at the same time, and yeah, I don't know, I just got a bit burned from it. But I basically did at that point try to do was what was like the minimum requirements to get to Nightmare Zone, which is kind of the state or like the spot my alt is in now. I did stop paying for membership for it for a bit, or like buying bonds to it or for it. So it kind of was paused for a bit, but yeah, now it's basically always just running in the background. I mean, even right now as I'm talking, I'm fishing on my main, trying to finish off 99 fishing while my oldest in Nightmare Zone. So yeah, um, but basically I just got, as you saw from the picture, I have max melees and on the alt now, and now I'm working on getting up my mage. And I could probably do it more efficiently by like questing and stuff, but I just can't be bothered really. I mean, I just kind of want to do it in easy mode, you know, just chill and level it up on the side, and then I can just smash through all the quests when I have the 99s, you know. I don't need to worry. I'm not too concerned about like getting a fire cave really early to train my melees a little bit faster or whatever. I would rather just get it when it's like gonna be really easy. So, um, but maybe that's me being weird. Um, but yeah, after I got the achievement diaries done, which was, I mean, that was a long grind for sure. And it's also a really good, um, what do you say, checkpoint. I guess it is kind of, if you want to max, what I would recommend is like the structure that I think most people do of like quest cape into achievement diary cape into maxing. I mean, like Tasty's, if you know him, his video on maxing, I've watched a few times, and I definitely followed that approach. Not necessarily from watching his video, but I think it makes a lot of sense, especially since I think there's a pretty good overlap of people who care about completionism and maxing, since it is kind of similar. So yeah, the achievement diary did seem like a natural step. I did have to do stuff that didn't have much to do with maxing. Obviously, like Barbarian Assault didn't really net me any XP, but you know, um, it was, and I did all of the Barbarian Assault myself, by the way. I mean, what I heard, it's like max cash to get all rank 5s or something ridiculous. So, yeah, I definitely don't have that kind of money anyway, but yeah, I did do that on the designated Barbarian Assault world. I can't remember which one it is, but yeah. Um, so, yeah, there were definitely some tough tasks in there, and like also getting Slayer to 93 or whatever it was to kill Thermi was also a big task. Especially because I guess Slayer, at least back then, wasn't my favorite skill necessarily. I guess maybe it's just because it didn't really feel like a skill in the same sense of some of the other skills. Like there just isn't the same relaxing feeling to it, and I guess it was a bit more overwhelming at the time because I mean I'm sure most of you can relate to this, but I didn't know where to go when I got a certain task and all that stuff, so I had to look it up all the time, and it just kind of broke the flow of it, you know, compared to like a skill like crafting or something where just standing at the bank and doing the same thing over and over. I don't know, there's something nice about that as well. But now I'll say I like Slayer a lot, and I did get it to 99 as well, so which was a few days ago actually. So I got it on a Chaos Elemental task that I did. I mean, I know it's not good XP, but I kind of wanted the pet anyway, so I thought I might as well. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I did decide after the achievement diary that that was the point where I felt like maxing is within reach. You know, it's possible for me to get to it. So I decided that I was gonna get agility, mining, and runecrafting out of the way because I knew that those skills were gonna be like the biggest hurdle or the biggest block for me. Like if I could get those to 99, I would feel like everything else would feel easy in comparison, you know. Um, and I mean, I'm not necessarily always consistent with that logic or whatever of saving the best for last or just doing the best early. But in this case, I just really wanted to get it done, so it wasn't like something I had to worry about with maxing or feel guilty about not doing it or something. And I think it was a really good decision because, well, for one, I thought agility was gonna be pretty bad, but when I got to floor 5 Sepulchre, like I had so much fun with agility, to be honest. I'm kind of sad that I didn't do uh, 0 time fletching when I was doing it, because there would have been a lot of like free XP or whatever. But you know, I can always do that post 99 if I want to. But yeah, so agility actually wasn't that bad. And the same I'll say about mining, to be honest. It was pretty rough at a point where I was a bit burned out on 3-tick 4G, which was the main method I did to, I want to say from 90 to, no, sorry, from 70 to 90, or 92, I think it was. And then from 92 to 99, I did, it was something a friend recommended to me, and I kind of put it off because it seemed really complicated and I would rather just do what I was used to and what I was comfortable with, which was 3-tick granite at the time. Um, but my friend recommended to me that I checked out Wux's video on solo volcanic mine, so I did, and it was super chill once you got it down, and quite good XP as well. From what I remember, it's like 80k an hour or something with the crystal pick at my level at the time, like 92 to 99. So, I mean, for what it was, like it wasn't very input intensive. It was actually quite a nice method, and it had the good pet chance as well, which was also a part of why I chose it. But it didn't end up happening for me, unfortunately. So that's gonna have to be post 99. But yeah, and I guess rune crafting is still what I'm working on, obviously, as you can see from the footage. And I've mainly done solo lavas, which is also what I'm doing now. But I also did some Guardians of the Rift, which is obvious from the fact that I have the pet. But yeah, almost green like that. I just need one specific die, but I don't think I'm gonna bother with that until later on. But yeah, uh, I guess what I've learned so far, and going into my future plans a bit as well, is that I've found a lot of enjoyment in skilling, doing it like optimally and trying to get 1-to-1 EHP, like basically EHP being efficient hours played. So like a real time hour for me I'm getting the same XP as the optimal hour would be. And for example, Blast Furnace, I did. I can't remember if I think it was called Zero Tick. But Blast Furnace Gold, basically, I even got a little bit more than 1 AHP per hour doing it to 99. Which was pretty awesome. I felt very good about that. And just the refinement over time and stuff is really nice in my opinion. And something like smithing, for example, it was just over so quickly that I would like to explore in the future going above 99 in terms of XP. And I guess that's also part of this video is like my friends have been like giving me some, I guess you could call it friendly flame or whatever about me wanting to do post 99s because I mean they just think it's kind of pointless. And I guess I kind of see that point, but I mean at the end of the day I mean obviously everything is pointless. I mean we're all playing a video game, right? But I guess people just see it as somehow more respectable or something doing collection lock than post 99 skilling. And I mean I think this is mainly just because people dislike skilling so much for some reason. But I don't know, I just found it really relaxing. And I mean it's something I've heard Sebe say as well, is like it's hard to describe, but like the rhythm aspect of skilling is really appealing to me, like especially doing like tick manipulation, like 2-tick ticks and stuff, just how you know every time you hit the skilling node or whatever, like chop the tree, like when you just get a lock and you just do it every 2 ticks. The same with like swordfish, it's super satisfying. And I just find AFK kind of boring, I guess. I mean, I sort of understand it in that people do other stuff at the same time, but personally, I don't really like to watch TV shows and stuff while I'm playing. I prefer just listening to music and playing. Um, so I guess that's why I mean, I like to play the game more and more actively, and I really like that you have the option to like tick manipulate and stuff like that, to get even higher XP than you normally could if you put in more effort, you know. I think that's really cool. Obviously it has some drawbacks, like I'll say I've definitely felt some pain, or not really pain, but just like irritation. Sometimes if I've done an intensive method for a long time. So there's that, I guess. And I guess, yeah, the main things for the future that I'm kind of unsure about is I feel like there are 3 main paths to go, which is like 200 mils or PVM or pits / collection lock. I guess those kind of overlap. And my current plan, I'm not really sure about, but I mean, my dream is just to get like Biskia, all pits, and some 200 mil skills. And I know that's a lot. I guess it's more, yeah, I mean, it is like a dream, you know. I'm not expecting to get to that point, and I'm definitely not expecting to get like 200 mil all. I just want to do the skills I enjoy. And the ones I'm thinking about the most right now is like farming and some of the other Bibles in general, just because the XP rates are so high, like the dopamine is crazy, and it feels very achievable to get 200 mil in those skills for me at least. Like prayer, I actually had a lot of fun training, like the sound when you offer up the bones and stuff, and how much XP you're getting, and just seeing like the XP drops like stacking up with no gap in between because you're doing it every tick is just crazy, and getting over 1 million XP an hour, you know. That is definitely very appealing to me. I mean, you can get even more than over 1 million XP. You could probably get over 2 million if you're doing it in POH, I guess, with a runner, but I'm not sure about that. I just did it at the KS Altar. And PVM in general, I mean, it feels less sustainable for me to do, at least for a long time, like very mentally draining. Um, it can be chill, especially if you're pet hunting. Obviously, like I guess PVM is when I said PVM versus pet hunting, like PVM would more be like not necessarily speed running, but uh, playing it for the content itself and not necessarily the rewards as much, you know? Um, like doing challenges and getting suck helmed, all that kind of stuff is what I see PVM as. And then pits is obviously just going for pits, you know, which does involve PVM, but that's not like the PVM in itself is not like the primary thing in that, at least not how I see it. Um, and PVM definitely has a lot of refinement and complexity as well. You know, like I was saying with skilling, I just feel like skilling to 99, some methods at least, it just wasn't enough time. Like, I'll give an example, like runecrafting and what you're seeing now. Like, everything, like how I set up my inventory, my zoom level, what way I'm facing, and stuff like that is all stuff that I learned like mainly slowly over time, but also from just watching a quick video when I started doing solo lavas to see someone doing it properly and try to copy them a bit. Um, so yeah, I guess with skilling, another thing that appeals to me about post 99 is also just having time to actually enjoy the methods a bit more and like perfect them, because I feel like I haven't with a lot of stuff. So the only thing about 200 mils as well is, like I said, I mean, obviously my friends are joking a bit, but it is like a lot of people do see it as pointless, you know, to get 200 mils and that you're crazy if you try to go for it. And I mean, not even just 200 mils straight up, but just any post 99 XP that isn't passive, they just think is dumb. So I guess there's that. But I do want to do farming the buyables and maybe agility just because it's like a respectable 99, I guess you could say. Oh, not 99, 200 mil. And it's one I really enjoyed doing sepulcher, and I could do fletching at the same time, so that would be kind of nice. And it's one I feel like I could do efficiently without proper alts right now. I also thought about thieving because I could earn some money as well doing that. Um, but we'll see. Uh, anyway, sorry if this was too long and if there were too many breaks. Um, well, just like me right now, not saying anything and saying, I'll try to improve on that, but I'm just gonna put this out there and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Either way, I'll probably make some more of these just for myself. Um, so if you're still here, thank you very much for watching and peace.